All right, day 7, part 2. We're going to create the thing that you see in front of you, this wonky shaped circular part. So there's a couple things I want to draw your attention to. They show two methods of how to create this. I'm going to do the first method. Feel free to play around with the second method if you'd like. But in the interest of time, I'm just going to do the first method. And so I'm going to create a part studio. You should do the same thing. So just instead of creating another document, calling it day 7 part 2 or anything like that, just create another part studio and put your drawing in there. You'll notice I have 3 because I have the one that I already created. You should only have 2. So here we go. So it tells you a few of the design parameters up front, and I'm going to read them to you because they are important. The 2 cylinders should be connected smoothly. If one of the cylinders becomes bigger, the part should still connect to the other cylinder smoothly, meaning that the circles need to be constrained to each other. So if one size gets bigger, then the other side also needs to adjust. The 3 sections of the part have 3 different heights, which will satisfy towards the end. And then this one's very important. If you don't pay attention to it, then you'll get to the bottom of this. You'll be like, crap, I have to do everything over again. So see, the part should be symmetrical across the front plane. So if you change one side of the part, the other side should change as well. And if you look at the image, it's very important to note that we've been sketching a lot of things on the front plane. It's actually the top plane that we're going to be sketching on. And the reason why is because that's going to serve as kind of our base for the sketch. So it's really important because we're going to be extruding up and down instead of out or revolving, that we use the top plane. And that is a lot of times the preference for designers, is to use the top plane to be the base essentially of things. So this time we're going to select the top plane. We're going to create a sketch, and we're going to go normal to that sketch, and we're going to start drawing some stuff. Now, again, the process should always be draw, constrain, then dimension. So you want your constraints to basically inform the entire design, and if we don't do that, then we will run into issues. So we're going to make the object that they show. So I'm going to do a center point circle here. I'm going to do another center point circle here. And then I'm going to use auto inferencing, very important. I'm going to go along here, create another center point circle here, and another center point circle here. And just to be safe, I'm going to make sure that these circles are concentric. I'm going to make sure those circles are, again, concentric. So I've made sure they're concentric, and now I need to draw a line connecting the two. So I'm going to go here to here, and I'm going to go here to here. Now, also very important, these lines have to be tangent to the circles. So I'm going to select this circle, select the line. It needs to be tangent. So you'll notice it bumped it up a little bit. Same thing here. Line needs to be tangent to this circle, tangent. Now you notice that it shrank the circle a little bit. Again, that's due to me constraining it. Again, tangent and tangent. All right, so now we've got these circles. It may not look exactly like what they have there, but that's okay because we are going to dimension it anyways. So here we go. I'm going to go dimension this to this. Should be exactly 2 inches. And that shrinks my whole thing down. And this one diameter is 1.25. This one diameter is 2.25. Notice that bumps things up a little bit. This one diameter is 1.5, and this one is 0.75. Boom, fully constrained, exactly like we like to see. So that's all done. Now it's time to move on. If you aren't fully constrained, the problems I tend to have with are A, if you didn't auto inference this circle to the origin, you will run into problems. So if you're not getting these tangent lines to lock into place, then it's more than likely because you didn't auto inference this. So you may have to delete it, go back, auto inference it, or use the midpoint or other lines to make sure that it's correct. You could even draw a construction line if you wanted to make sure they're all lined up, but you need to make sure that this is auto inference from the origin. And then you need to make sure these lines are actually tangent to both the circles on both sides. So, all right, I've got that done. I'm going to complete that sketch, and we're going to go back to a slightly different view here. Let me see if I can get back. Yep, there we go. So what you'll see here is I have everything done, and this is our first method that they show of extruding this. So I'm going to select this, and this, and I'm going to extrude downwards. So I'm going to click that arrow. It will flip it around. It's going to be 1 inch. I'm going to accept. So you'll notice that if I look at this, it's actually coming off the bottom of the plane rather than the top. Now, I need to still use other parts of the sketch, so I'm going to click on this eye. It makes the sketch visible again. I'm going to click on this guy, and I'm going to extrude him by 1 inch, which is fine. And then I'm going to remove a 1/2 inch of this guy. So it's going to be a remove and 0.5. There we go. Accept. And I'm almost done. So I'm going to hide this sketch again now that I no longer need it. And you can see the only thing I need to do is just to round off these corners with a fillet. So I'm going to do fillet, select, and this is supposed to be a 1/4 inch fillet, so 0.25, and there you have it. Nice and easy, didn't take very long. As long as you pay attention to what you're constraining and the auto constraining, then you will be fine. If you want to play around with the other method, feel free to. Just make sure you have this completed in your document.